Somebody calling?
Somebody calling?
Yeah, Jimmy, where are you?
I'm on the lower sideband of 7188. Where are you?
7188, where are you?
I'm on lower side, man. I probably got the wrong radio. Give me a chance so I can find the right antenna. Over.
Roger, roger. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. KC9VKV, testing.
KC9VKV, testing.
Dial it right on in there. I think it's a better antenna, is it not, Jimmy?
Let me try my local antenna. Come on back.
Oh. Yeah, hello, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. I'm on my local antenna now.
Yeah. Good deal. And hello to your neighbor up there, your good friend there up in close to Canada. Over.
Yes, sir. I've not heard him yet this afternoon. I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
I think you need to try again. Holler for him again.
Oh, I hear Charlie now. KC9VKV, K1GCO.
KC9VKV, K1GCO.
Yeah, I think, is Milford okay? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. You're 40 over, sir.
Yes, sir, you're 40 over, sir.
Okay, we'll stand by. K1GCO.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to
Yes, sir.
Dr. K show in RADIOLAND.
Well, I wish you had the other half of that running.
Yeah, I wish I did too. I'm giving it all I got and some over there, big guy. Doing the best I can and some I can't. Over.
Right. I was checking you out on Milford. Check your ALC level, mid-scale to mid 2/3, as you say, and adjust your mic level.
And adjust my mic level. I'm trying to, am I giving you too much audio or not enough?
Well, it was kind of bunching up towards the top, you know.
All right, let me do something here. Oh, I got audio. There we go, audio.
Sounds good now. Is that the hand mic?
No. This is an RE27, the broadcaster mic.
Yes, sir. Got any more top? About 2 or 3 clicks more treble?
Sure, I gave you all kinds of treble there. Is that what you need? No, wait a minute, that's bass. Hold on. Mama said bass, Dad said treble, get you all up in the middle, and that's smooth. Is that better, guy?
Yes, sir. Okay, we're coming up on the show here.
Is it time to rock and roll?
Just about.
You want me in another hour, right?
No, in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, somewhere in there.
All right, I'll get back with you in 25 minutes, and then GTO clearing the frequency for the net.
Roger. And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems, so it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Highlights and KC9VKV Logbook are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our new number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR, specially oriented, resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA 5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy?
Yeah, Jim, you're running 5 over 9 direct, as I have no capability for an SDR. Excellent copy. This is K1GZL. And how do you copy me down in southern Indiana? Well, I mean, probably through Milford, Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Charlie, you're 40 over on Milford. Roger, Roger.
Charlie, you're 40 over on Milford. Roger, Roger.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a tape recording I made of VK2 about 30 miles west of Sydney, Australia. West of Sydney, Australia. At the very end of it, this is part of it that in the beginning of it I gave you last week. He was only running 100 watts to a wire quad loop antenna, period. That's all he had was 100 watts. But then right after that, I recorded another station running just a quarter wave vertical, about 17 feet long, right on the water, about 50, 60 miles north of Sydney, Australia. So here it is, I hope. Wait a minute.
People, and way too much noise here, I can tell you. So I'm looking forward to the day I can retire and pack up and move to somewhere that I can have a patch of ground and put up some more antennas and things like that. 73's Charlie, pleasure, and well, we'll hopefully catch up again in the not too distant future. The pleasure's been all mine. Take care. K1GZL, VK2VRC 73. K1GZL. Very interesting. Did you say 6 kilometers from Quebec? This is VK2 Lima Charlie. You're 5 and 9. We worked before. I don't know if we worked before with this call sign. My call sign before was the same prefix with Bravo X-Ray Echo. I changed the call in 2020. Virtually at the start of COVID. About March or April 2020 I changed, and this has been the call sign since, but for many decades before it was Bravo X-Ray Echo. But I remember you over the recordings, and I remember you on the Southern Cross DX net, and we've spoken many times before. Charlie, 5 and 9. My name is Mike India Kilo Echo. And I'm located about 70 kilometers north of Sydney. The population is a little bit bigger in the area that I live in. And very interesting about the surrounding area, the area you live in is very interesting, and the surrounding area, I'm sure you said 6 kilometers from Quebec, is that right? Very interesting. So there you go, and just listening with interest to your last contact, the VK2 you were working was not close enough to me to have a big signal, and he was not close enough to be ground wave and not far enough away to be some type of propagation, so I can only just hear him talking. I certainly can hear your part of the conversation. Good to hear you, Charlie. I knew immediately who you were when I tuned past you. Well, I certainly have a croaky voice at 6 o'clock in the morning, that's for sure. That's why I'm not on air at that time. K1GZL, VK2 Lima Charlie, over.
Okay, he was just running a quarter wave vertical right on the water north of Sydney. Okay, Jim, I won't hold it too long. I'll try to catch you next Friday. Friday, I'm wondering if you copied that. Okay, KC9VKV. This is K1GZL, Clarksville, Northern New Hampshire. Go ahead.
Roger, Charlie. Perfect copy there. 40 over on Milford. Just perfect. And your recording of the your Aussie DX was just perfect. Roger.
Your Aussie DX was just perfect. Roger.
Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that report. Well, look, I'll catch you next week. Just keep up the good work you're doing for everybody, and we'll try to catch you under good conditions. The weather here is mostly cloudy. We've had no rain up here, hardly anything in the month of October so far. However, we are going to get some tomorrow, and we'll probably catch over an inch of rain before it's all said and done. Then it starts getting much colder next week, and we may see our first flakes of snow sometime next week. So I'll say the very best, Jim. Keep up the good work, as I mentioned, and thank you very, very much for letting me come aboard. KC9VKV, Craig, I'll catch you lower down. K1GZL. Always a pleasure, Jim.
Roger, Charlie. 73 out that way. Stay warm or cool, whichever one you prefer. This is the Friday Afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. My name is Jim, and better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series. So, without further ado, let's open it up and see who's out there. This is the Friday Afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
This has been another commercial. Please go to YouTube and view so Dr. VKV can get paid for his time.
That's a lovely thought, but I am not monetized, lady. Gosh, so sorry. This is the Friday Afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
W7GLS, Whiskey 7 Golf Lima Sierra. Whiskey 7 Golf Lima Sierra.
Golf Lima Sierra. This is KC9VKV. Where is the name there? What is the name?
Where is the name there? What is the name?
The name here is George Easy Oscar, Robert George Easy, mobile in Appleton, Outagamie County, Wisconsin, running an Qso-857 into a full-size ham. I know the band is a little light in this time of the day, but your copy will well about it at 7 and 8.
Okay, a copy of the name is George. Is that a Roger?
Okay, a copy of the name is George. Is that a Roger?
That is correct. That is George Easy Oscar, Robert George Easy.
Roger, Wisconsin, the location, and give me the radio one more time.
The location, and give me the radio one more time.
The radio is a Yaesu 857D David. 857D David. The last probably of that run of the 857 from Yaesu Munson.
Roger, George, copy 857D. Is that a Roger?
857D. Is that a Roger?
Yes, the suffix is D David, D David, D Delta, and that is the last run of the Yaesu 857.
Roger. Well, gosh, I've got about you're about a dB and a half at best on the PA SDR. Why don't you, if you would, I'm going to try my Hocus Pocus SDR receiver. That's we got about 60 entries in there, and let me try something up around. Let's see, you're in Wisconsin. Let me try see if I got anything in Wisconsin, just out of curiosity. Wisconsin, I do. Milwaukee, we shall see. If you would, come on, there you go.
This is Whiskey 7. Golf name 7. Golf name is Sierra. W7GLS. Mobile, Appleton, Outagamie County, Wisconsin. Lima, Golf, W7GLS. Mobile, Appleton, Outagamie County, Wisconsin. Back to net.
Roger, George, I've got you about 2 dB over on the PA SDR. The Wisconsin SDR is just in a place where it's not really helping at all. The signal was not better in the Wisconsin SDR, so you're just, jumping over that SDR. So we're on the Pennsylvania SDR. Anyway, you'd be interested in a setup. Sounds pretty good. Your radio sounds pretty good, Roger.
Setup sounds pretty good. Your radio sounds pretty good, Roger.
Well, thanks for that report here. I have got to get on the road here and do chores here. Man, at this time of the day, as you know, is very quiet on the short, medium, and even long haul. So, again, thank you for picking me up. I'll put this one in the book. And just for the record here, your call sign, again, full and phonetically clear.
Yes, sir, George. Kilo, Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. We're up around Louisville. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
Of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
We did get the Kilo, Charlie 9, and the suffixes again, please.
Call is Kilo, Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor, VKV. Roger.
Victor, Kilo, Victor, VKV. Roger.
We have Victor, Kilo, Victor. And that one. Kilo, Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. You want help?
Yes, sir, that's it. Sounding good there, George. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. I wish I had a little bit better copy on you, but Mother Nature calls the shots. We just do the best we can. But I'll be posting it up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Well, thank you very much for that. Given the conditions here, we did have the so thanks again for picking me up. This will be Whiskey 7, Golf Lima Sierra, turning it back to you for a final and going QRT.
Roger, George. 73 up that way, sir. Thanks for dropping by, and have a good afternoon and a pleasant weekend. And if you get a chance to join us next weekend, we'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Delta Mike. Kilo Quebec 4, Golf Delta Mike.
Golf Delta Mike, is that all right? Golf Delta Mike, is that a Roger?
Golf Delta Mike, is that all right? Golf Delta Mike, is that a Roger?
Yeah, that's a Roger, Jim. And my home QTH is... but right now I'm in heaven, and I set everything up so I could try and reach you today, Roger.
Yes, sir. Well, I've got a room full of you on my local antenna, so it's just beautiful. You're about 20 over on my local antenna, Roger, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, you're 20 over on my little setup here. I just have a vertical standing on the ground with some radials on the ground there, Roger.
Roger, Sean, what's your location?
I'm in a small town in northeast Tennessee called Sneedville. I'm right up in the very northeast corner of Tennessee.
Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running today?
I have the Yaesu FTDX10, and I'm using their desktop microphones with that. I think it's M90 or something like that. Running at 100 watts to my vertical antenna, Roger.
Roger that. Let me see. I've got notes on that. Let me find my notes. Anyway, if you'd be interested in a setup procedure, starts with you verifying that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass. 100 to 2900, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Let me double check that here. Radio operations, general. Okay, I'm 29. I'm at 2900 bandwidth.
Okay, does it not have the one? Usually that's 100 to 2900. Do you not have a bottom cutoff on that?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's 200 to 2900.
All right, so what we want to do there is make that bottom number 100 to 2900, and then we'll take care of the bottom end in EQ, Roger?
Okay, let me check that real quick. Let's see. General. Easy find it pretty quick. The Yaesu has so many menus. Hold on 1 second here. SSB. All right, one second. Okay. Now it's at 100 and 2900. 100 to 2900 on the bandwidth.
Excellent, excellent. So next would be to set your processor on 30. Get that processor on and add a 30, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Processor is on, and it's actually set to 33 right now. 33, is that okay?
Sure, that's close enough. All right, then we're moving to your ALC meter, and we're looking for 7 by saying the word audio and adjusting your mic level. So it's we're going to be setting your ALC by saying audio and adjusting your mic level until your ALC meter is reading 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Right now it's at 9. It's when I talk here. Audio. It's at 9. Let me turn my mic gain down just a little bit. Audio. Wow, it likes to be up there real high. I'm having a hard time getting it down. Let's see. Okay, here it goes. I'm at 30 on the ALC now. ALC's at 30, and I'm at 7, maybe 8 at the most, Roger.
Yes, sir. Well, what you want to do when you say that word, you want to say it just like you would say any other word in a QSO. Don't stress it. Just say it, audio, and hold it, the front of it, for as long as you can, and just adjust that mic level till you're reading 7 or 2/3 on your ALC meter. It's real easy, Roger.
Okay, giving it a try here. Audio. Needs to come down a little bit more.
Audio. It's a little too low. Audio. Okay. How's that sound right there?
Sounds pretty good. So you're right in that sweet spot of 2/3 on your ALC meter, Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Looking at the ALC. Audio. Yep, it's 7.5 maybe.
All right, so your radio is running a 3-band parametric EQ with variable width. And so what we want to do here is we're going to be, now that you've got your processor on, we'll be looking at your P set of EQ controls. Roger, Roger?
Yeah, Roger, and I knew you were going to ask me that, so I wrote them down on my pad. And I've got EQ1, 200 hertz, set at 5 for the level, and bandwidth of 10. I have EQ2 at 1300, level 5, bandwidth of 4. And EQ3, the treble, is at 2600, 5 for the level, and 4 for the bandwidth. Roger.
Yes, sir. Okay, we'll take them all one by one. The first thing is to make sure that your mic EQ is set to on. Make sure your mic EQ is set to on, because we could be making all kinds of adjustments and really not doing anything if you don't have that mic EQ switch set to on.
Roger, I am looking at my menu and it says mic EQ is on. Roger.
Great, great. All right, so then we want to start at the bottom with EQ1, the bass control. We want to set that at 200 cycles. Width of 4, level -6. So EQ number 1, the bass control, set to 200 cycles, width of 4, level -6. Roger?
Oh, really? Okay. So you want the level at -6. I have it at +5 right now. Okay, so I'm going to go at 200 hertz on EQ1, 200 hertz. I'm going to go, right now I'm at 5, and you want me to go -6. So here I am at -6, Roger.
Okay, and that's with a width of 4, Roger, Roger?
No, that's a width of 10.
Okay, make that a width of 4. Make that a width of 4, Roger.
Okay, now it's at 4, Roger. I'm at 4, 200 hertz, -6, with 4 on the bandwidth.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's move to the mid control, EQ2. We want that off or flat. EQ2 mid-range off or flat.
Okay, right now I've got it at 1300, boost of 5 and bandwidth of 4. I will see how I turn that off. 1 second. Okay, I'm turning it. Oh, there it is off. Okay, now it's off. The EQ2, the mid-range is now off.
Great. Okay, let's move to EQ3, the treble control. We want that to be at 2.7 kilohertz, 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7. I'll repeat that. 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7 for EQ3, the treble control. Roger?
Okay, right now it's at 2600, so you want that 27. And I'm sorry, I missed what level it's supposed to be at.
All right, let me repeat that. We're working on EQ3, and that's the P series of controls. Number 3, the treble control for P is 2.7 kilohertz, width of 4, level +7.
Okay, I'm at 2700 now, and I'm at 10. Let me drop that down to 7. Okay, now I'm at 2700 on parametric EQ3. I'm on 2700, level 7, and the bandwidth is 6.
Bandwidth of 4. Bandwidth of 4, Roger.
Okay, now I'm at bandwidth of 4.
All right, and let's see here. I think that's about it. Now, what I want you to do is give me about 10 or 15 seconds. Tell me about your antenna system and see if I can find a better path again. Roger?
Okay, Roger. I'm running V6 I'm running antenna sitting on the ground with radial spread out on the ground with about a 30-foot vertical and just a wire antenna stationed vertical. Roger, and 100 watts.
Yes, sir. Now I have a Tennessee SDR that is really great. Will help us immensely if all things are equal and the crease don't rise. Let me get to it here. MNOPQRST, Tennessee. I think it was Knoxville. That's what it was. Let me bring Knoxville up. Come on, Knoxville. Here we go. Oh, can't be reached. Beautiful. All that for that. Let's see. I have another one in Tennessee. Okay, I'll clear that one. And I'm on my Hocus Pocus SDRs. It's 50 or 60 SDRs spread out over 20 states, about 3 per state. And I'm looking in the Tennessee batch. I'm going to go down to Nashville. I couldn't get Knoxville up, so I'll go down to Nashville and see what's going on there. Let's see here. And that's looks right. All right, so come back and let me hear you. Give me about 10 seconds and tell me about the thing you like best about your radio.
Give me about 10 seconds and tell me about the thing you like best about.
Yeah, Roger. Knoxville's not very far. That's probably about a 30-minute drive from where I am. So that's pretty close. But Nashville, not too sure. I think that's about 2 hours from where I am. Maybe 3 hours. So that's a little bit further. But further. Actually, the complexity of it. Always learning something new, and that's kind of why I wanted to reach out there. I've been listening to you. My home QTH is Orlando, Florida, and I can hear you down there, but I can never reach out to you. It's too much noise. But up here in the mountains, it's really quiet, and of course I'm a lot closer. But so when I took this cabin trip, I was wanting to set everything up in time to make a contact with you and see if you could evaluate my radio audio. Roger.
Roger, yeah, I really wish the Knoxville SDR was open. That is just a beautiful SDR to copy the mail on. But anyway, I'm copying you now best on my PA SDR and sometimes my local antenna. I've got a chevron on the right side of the screen that will tell you where I'm listening. And as I cycle through my receive inputs, it'll indicate exactly where I am, so you can see how you're doing at various parts of the states. Roger.
How you're doing at various parts of the states. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I do have a question for you. I was wondering if you could do this live on YouTube in the future, because I think it'd be kind of fun to see you do this with people out there live, Roger.
I've considered that, and I still am considering that, but we'll just have to see. It's pretty a complicated situation. It takes probably about half an hour to bring everything up as it is, let alone dealing with a live situation, Roger.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to... You almost need a producer to help you run everything, Roger.
Oh, yes, and she's not available a lot of the time. So, anyway, we do the best we can, and, it is what it is, and it's posted as a part of reality radio, and I think we got the best recording possible this way. We're set up to do that. Our input level into our local receivers, very, very light, so we, in usually no cases, get overload. So it's really good there. But because of that, our S meter is not functional because it is, that only works when your RF gain is fairly well up. But we have a VU meter tied to the output of our radio. When right now we are running a 7300, and then we have a VU meter tied to that, as well as a spectrum analyzer. So on the left-hand side, we have a spectrum analyzer that's looking at the audio, my audio, your audio, whatever's there, and so you can actually see your audio curve on that spectrum analyzer. When you go to YouTube, do they call it a search KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to this recording. Now, also keep in mind that the weaker the signal, the more noise enters into the readings of the audio level control, and also the spectrum analyzer. So when you really get down there, it's reading a lot of noise along with your audio signal. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. And your signal's coming in beautifully. I mean, the audio is crisp and clear, and it doesn't hurt that you're doing plus 20 here in Northeast Tennessee. So do you think my audio sounds better now than it did when we were first talking?
I think so, but you be the judge. That is, the whole thing about this is that we have a before and after picture or an audio trail of that, and I think it's much more articulated and understandable, and that is the name of the game when you're facing situations of being half a dB over somebody's noise level, or 50,000 people biting at your feet in a QSO or contest situation. I think you want to be as articulated as you can be, but you're still being pleasurable, and I think that's where we have you right now, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, Jim. Thank you so much. One thing that drives me crazy is when chasing DX is somebody that has too much compression and it's all distorted, and it almost gets in the way. You can't really, like your word, articulate. You can't really understand what they're saying very clearly, and you can overdo compression. So that's one of the things I'm trying to do, is use just enough compression to punch through, but not distort the audio.
Yes, sir, and that's what we do. We're running, we want to get about a 3 dB dynamic range on your signal, which means at a 3 dB dynamic range, your average percent of peak modulation is between 80 and 85%. So it's crystal clear. The words are not bent or misshaped because of overmod, and that's when we set your ALC at 2/3 by way of your audio and mic gain control. So you are pristine, ready to go, and I think, again, be looking at that chevron on the right. It'll tell you where we're monitoring from, what location. And another suggestion would be that for something to do, I would leave my ALC meter out, and as I would be talking around to folks, I would be looking at my ALC, and I'm wanting to keep my my ALC in the sweet spot. That is, in the 2/3 mode or position as I spoke, and over a period of time, like a couple of weeks, you will develop a relationship between your ALC meter, and you'll be able to keep it right at 2/3 by your voice control, Roger?
Yeah, that's a great tip, because I always leave it on SWR instead, and I don't use ALC, and I've got an ALC now, so I'm going to start doing that. Thank you for that, and I appreciate your time this afternoon. I really appreciate your time. Enjoy listening to you. I can't talk to you down there when I'm in my home PTH of Orlando, Florida, but I do listen to you on Fridays and enjoy listening to you tune up other people's radios. So thank you so much, Jim, and have a great weekend. Okay.
Roger. I just heard Fahoki. What was that about?
I was just saying that the ALC meter, I think, is underutilized for most people. The ALC meter, I usually leave mine on XWR, and I don't watch the ALC very much, but I'm going to start doing that, Roger.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a good idea. And you may have to just nudge your mic level one way or the other, but just be looking at your ALC meter as a Bible, and you want it to be right in as much as possible, right in that sweet spot of 2/3, Roger.
Yep, Roger. Okay, I did pump it up. I was at 25, now I'm at 33, and it does seem to have brought that up just a little bit.
Yes, sir. Well, you can see where you need to be. That's a little jingle. You can see where you need to be, and you know the way to set that meter now, and so there's no big mystery about it. And particularly like when you change mics, you should always refer back to your ALC to be sure that your mic level is correctly set at 2/3 on your ALC, because not all mics are created equal as far as output. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. And how much power are you running?
We're running a KW right now.
Oh, okay. And what is my signal over there? Like, what's the S meter read when I'm talking?
Well, it's not really an S meter. Like I say, my receive RF level is down quite a bit, so my S meter is not functioning. But I do have a VU meter tied to the output, audio output, and it's set to 0 level. And when you cease speaking, I'm reading noise, and it looks like noise is about 8 dB below your voice peaks, or let's put it another way, your voice peaks are 8 dB above my noise level. Roger?
Oh, okay, good, Roger. Excellent, okay. Well, thank you, Jim. I'm sure there's other people out there that want to talk to you, so I'll clear the space here, and again, appreciate your time this afternoon. I hope you have a great weekend.
Yes, sir. And again, look at that spectrum analyzer as you speak, as you're looking at your audio, and look at the broadness of that spectrum analyzer, and that's what it's all about. Now I'll give you another clue there. On my spectrum analyzer, there's 3 white marks. The first white mark to the right is 100 cycles. The first white mark to the right is 1 KC. Then there's a black space, and then there's another white mark, and that's let's see, 2 of them. That's 4 KC. So on the right hand side, the first one is 1 KC, black mark 2 KC, next mark is 4 KC. So you can see exactly how your audio curve is, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, and that's another aspect of the radio that I don't watch a lot, but I'm looking at it now, and yeah, I see how it modulates with my voice.
Roger. And you can see it there, and you can see it at here. 7300 has a receive bandwidth of 100 to 2900. I have all my filters and stuff off, and so we're just doing flat on the receiver as much as possible. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. All right. Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate your time this afternoon, and like I said, thank you very much for helping me out and getting this thing tuned up, and looking forward to listening to it on the YouTube channel when you get it uploaded later.
Roger, Sean. So let me say 73 to you, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. Thanks for dropping by. And again, I'll have this uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. 73. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
KC9VKV and 9GTO.
In 9GTO, Lou, my Elmer has joined us. Hello, sir.
How does my audio sound now? Is it doing better now?
Could use a little bit more on the bottom side. Roger?
Oh, you want the bottom. Okay, I can give you the bottom. It's not a problem. Is that better right there?
That's headed in the right direction. What you been up to, sir?
Oh, everybody I can, and the good ones twice, over.
Yes, sir. And what radio are you running?
I'm running the Anon 8000.
Roger. That's the latest version, isn't it?
No, they don't make this one anymore. They stopped making the 200-watt versions.
Ah, Roger, Roger. Now, how much of that is computer and how much of it is, mechanical, physical thing?
It's all computer. It's everything computer, over.
Well, now, you got to have something to kick the signal on down there as to 200 watts, Roger.
It's got a PA board and everything else. The computer takes over all the knobs. That's what the computer takes. It puts the knobs on the screen, and then you've got the big PA board and everything. That's basically it. It just takes the front of a radio off and puts it on the screen.
Roger. Now, let's see. What was that video again? Let me get a note of that.
The non-8000 DLE. They stopped making this version. They're making other ones now, but they stopped making this version here a while back, over.
Roger that. Well, and what do you think about it?
I love it. I think it's great.
Roger, Roger. How does it differ from other radios that you've run in the past?
Easy to use, open share software on the, where the software runs it. It's open source. People are really taking a good job of taking care of it. I love it.
Roger, Roger. And so you're doing 200 watts?
No, I'm running the SB1000, and I'm only putting about 100 watts into it and getting about 600 out. I don't know about my antenna system. My antenna system has got a wad of weeds growed up on it, and I think it's hindering my ability to do something. I've got 4 antenna systems, and I need to identify them and get them straightened out. This one here is giving me the best signal on you, so I'm ready to rock and roll right here, over.
Yes, sir. Well, it's sounding good. Let me check. I've got a Kentucky SDR that I'm just love to bring up and hear what you sound like down in Lexington. Okay, there we go. Come back and let me listen to you in Lexington.
Let me listen to you in Lexington.
All right, Jimmy, what do I sound like in Lexington compared to you, over?
Well, I'm a little bit louder, but, all things considered, let me go to Milford and see what we do there.
To Milford and see what we do there.
You're going to be a little bit louder.
Or maybe down in Georgia. Let me see what we got down in Georgia. Hello, 1, 2, 3, SDR in Georgia.
Georgia, let me see what we got down in Georgia. Hello, 1, 2, 3, SDR in Georgia.
Yeah. Just checking my SDRs. I'm just curious how that stacks up. Our proximities being so close, Roger.
Roger. Well, you've perfected your station. I have not perfected mine. I've kind of let it get just a little bit disabled, over.
Yes, sir. I understand that, and I'm, just trying to, get along here. Sometimes I feel like this thing is, I've got a checklist now that's about 2 feet long, like an airplane pilot before the net starts, about being able to make sure this is on and that's on, and I'm still trying to keep the fun of it all, Roger.
Oh, I totally understand. That's when I say it stopped being fun to me when I had a 4-mile checkbook. Going through the checkbook to keep from doing something wrong. You have to go through page 1, page 2, or page 3, kind of like a setup. You're right. It's like an aviator's checklist. Oh boy, it gets pretty rough when it does that, Jim. I like it to keep it simple. And right now it's pretty simple for me. I've got a thumb switch which keys up everything, and the whole 9 yards is all sequential. And when I'm done, I just hit that thumb switch, and clump she goes.
Roger, well, your dynamic range looks to be about 3 dB, so, that's right on track. It means your average percent of peak modulation is somewhere between 80 and 85%, so it's very fat. And your audio curve is very articulated, so, gosh, you're in good shape, Roger.
Yeah, but I got vines growing on my vertical. I got vines growing on my long wire. I got vines growing everywhere. I got to get those vines off all these antennas. They're hindering the get out and go, over.
Roger, I was just looking out. I've got those three vertical magnetic loop antennas, and I've got some tall weeds around those. And man, those magnetic loops are just super critical to things that go bump in the night. They don't like anything around them. They're very, very very challenged by things that shouldn't be there, and they love to be in the clear. And they're capable of very low SWR. It's just a matter of keeping them there because they're so critical, and little things do make a difference. Just like moisture might shift the resonant tune frequency of that vertical magnetic loop, off from. I try to keep them right at 0.01, 0.05, between that and then 1, somewhere in there. But they are very sensitive to change. And mine, it is that I have cutaways outside that I have to take my antenna tuner outside and grab one of them in a breakaway situation and go to the antenna specific and tune it that way. I've got actually I'm using cat litter boxes as the weatherproof control area, and I have a plunger that comes through that, and it's a PVC pipe with a T on the end of it. And you have to be about 2 feet away from the loop antenna to keep from detuning it just when you reach to tune it. So this sticks out probably about a foot and a half or so out of the weather containment area, and with a T on the end, and you just lightly tune it back and forth, and you can see it big time on the antenna tuner. Roger?
Jim, are you telling me you have a shithouse mechanical device tied to your magnetic loop over?
I do that. It's empty. And then this is it's not the food part. It is the other part there, but it's the coming in part, not the going out part of that. Roger.
Well, I understand that, but it is empty. But you're using a shit house. You're basically using an outhouse for your magnetic tuning device, so that you can stand 3 feet, 2 feet away from it to tune it with your SWR bridge. And by the way, how is your SWR bridge working?
It's working excellently, sir. It's one of the greater things that we have worked out that I now possess. And there's another thing to that. A lot of folks don't realize that that SWR bridge and SWR analysis bridge is actually transmitting a signal. It's not a passive device as such. It's actually transmitting a signal on the frequency that you're working on. So you can actually put a little stub of wire in there, depending, and set it out somewhere on a particular frequency, and then tune things to that and use it as a test transmitter. Roger?
Oh, yeah. I've done that many a times. Always make sure you put the dummy load in. I think it's got a dummy load built in it. I really do. I think it's got dummy load built in it. But I normally use a 50 ohm resistor and stick it in there in a PL259 and stick a piece of wire out there about 8-10 inches long. That way I got a 50 ohm, and I stick it in there just for the heck of it. I know it attenuates the signal some, but then that way you've got double protection on it. I'm not sure if it's protected or not. It says high SWR when it comes on with that wire in there, but with the 50 ohm load, it calms it back down. So I've got one over here I want you to take a look at. I want you to compare it to yours and see let's just say it got dropped. And I'm not sure if it's accurate anymore or if it needs to go back. I've got a new one that's replacing it, but this one here might be good just as a backup, just in case something goes wrong. But I definitely need to let you take a look at it and see what you think about it, if it's worth healing over.
Oh, roger that. Well, gosh, the thing is, if you go through the bands and all the signals appear to be as identified on that band selector, the frequency selector, if all that works, and if you run it as a normal analysis device, and you can make it work at, say, 14 megahertz, or maybe even down to 7, round through there. If everything works to about mid-scale, nominal, I would say it's probably all right, provided that it's working into, maybe you could just make it work into, that pure resistive load, Roger.
Yeah, it like I said, batteries are dead in it now. I was going to put a dummy load on it and check it, and but I've got one over here now. It's done got me spoilt. So I've got the antenna expert from where is it? We're helping them fight a war. They make them over there, and like I said, it spoilt me to death using the new analyzer. Once you see it, you see how it works. And then you can also hook it up to a computer. You can see where the dips are on every band and what's good, what's bad, and what's tunable, what's not tunable. You can see all kinds of stuff. It's amazing how the thing works. But it is absolutely awesome. And then it's got a beautiful SWR meter that tells you the gain and the loss of the coax, the whole 9 yards. So it's a very, very neat device. And so I'm spoiled to death with the new one. So the old one is not that. We'll just have to take the batteries out of it and put it on a shelf for down the road.
Yes, I was going to suggest take those batteries out for sure, because they sure can make a mess of things over a period of time that you're not using it, or you forget about using it or don't need it, and those batteries will have a tendency to leak. And therein lies a big problem if you don't catch it before it leaks all over the place, Roger.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, it's not the best of the world, but no, I want you to compare the analyzer that I have against the one you have compared in the field. If you were out there doing something and you were able to compare it and say, okay, Lou, this analyzer here, it says that just get it. It's a VHF, it's almost identical to your analyzer. So, but I'm glad that yours is still working, and it's giving you a lot of good service. It means a lot to me. So it's definitely helped your station out. Your station is remarkable, Jim. You have, unbelievable. Not only did you go to school on Saturday, but you stayed all day, Jimmy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I would use that one and check it out on double-checking the tuned status of the vertical magnetic loop antennas. That's probably the most critical situation that you can get there. And just, you got to really be in that notch. You got to really be in the frequency that the vertical dipole is tuned for, because if you're off just a little bit, and your SWR will start coming up pretty fast. So it's a very, very, very high Q circuit, and so if I get the same readings out of both analyzers, yours is dead on, Roger.
Yeah, there's a show on YouTube I watch, Amos and Moses or something like that. It's a sitcom kind of comedy, and it's pretty damn awesome. Kind of reminds me of You and Me and You, and I'll have to send you a link to it. There's about 25 shows in the 1950s, and it talks about Andy Brown and George Stevenson. And I get on there and I have a blast watching those shows. Two black guys seeing who can put the screws to each other.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. They're young, about 25 or so, Roger?
What do you mean, 25 shows?
No, 25 years old.
Oh, no, these guys are in their 50s. Hell, they look like they're 70. George Stevens, he died right after these shows were done. But he was in Broadville and stuff back in the 20s, 30s, and you know, born in the 1800s. But he died in 59, I believe. Died broke, he said.
Roger, Roger. Well, I know, I know how that is.
Well, you're having a good time on here, and I don't want to take away. You want it? Let me pause for the calls and see if you can get somebody else to want to tune the radio up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is KC9VKV Friday afternoon, Qso-Vlog net. If anybody has a radio they want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
Go back to the Jim and Lou show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, that SWR analysis machine has really been very nice, and being packaged in that Neumann mic box, it's just beautiful. It's all not sponge covered, but it's got a nice little soft lining inside the Neumann box that meter just rides in perfectly. I've got all the batteries dumped out of it. I've got the AC jobber in there, and I figured out I think it is let's see. I think you have one of the processor buttons pushed in when you turn it on, and that will keep it on, and it won't go off like every 3 or 4 minutes, Roger. It'll stay on for as long as you want it on, Roger.
Yeah, it'll stay on. As long as you put power to it, it'll stay on. There's no doubt about that. Like I said, I was just wondering to see if this thing here had a malfunction in the junction. Like I said, it was dropped, and it didn't damage anything, I don't think, but I'm getting some readings. The other one gives you a solid reading, and this one here, I don't know. I'm not really sure if it's me. The new one has just made everything so much easier, and I'm getting good results out of it, and I'm finding out that the results of some antennas are better read by the new one. But like I said, I'm down to 4 antennas right now, and I've got to get more up in this fall. I'm going to go up with a G5 RV. I don't know why. Something just wants me to go up with. It's 51 feet each way, and it's got 30 feet of ladder line, and I'm going to experiment with the G5 RV for once in my life. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, to each his own. I would just love to see what the efficiency relationship would be between that and a tuned, resonant tuned dipole antenna. You'll have to be running through a SWR tuner, Roger.
Boy, did I beat that in your head. A resonant tuned dipole. I think I must have beat that in your head. 468 divided by the frequency. Cut it in half. Yada, yada, yada. I think I did my Elmer's job, because those are magic words to my ears. And I'm hearing something that I used to tote about. Yeah, I'd like to compare the G5 RV against a standard 468 divided by the frequency dipole. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, I've said many a time that a lot of situations, a lot of my stations that are running 100 watts are I'm not receiving very well. And I am running 4 internet SDR receivers, actually 5, 4 of them fixed, and then one that is a hocus pocus internet SDR receiver, which covers 50 different SDR locations in 20 states in the in the eastern part of the United States. And when I get a station that I cannot copy out of that, and I'm considering that if somebody is running 100 watts in the eastern part of the United States, they should be an S5 to S9 somewhere. Somebody running 100 watts in the eastern part of the United States should be S5 to S9 somewhere. If they're an S1 everywhere, they're just not getting out. So I would suggest trying a new antenna system. They're easy to build, and that would be the resonant tuned dipole antenna. And just for kicks, leave your old antenna up and put you an AV switch between them so you can compare where you were to where you are with that dipole antenna, and you'll be amazed at the difference of receive, and usually the intensity of the reception indicates the intensity of transmit will be in the same bag. So if you're not receiving somebody well on one antenna and you go to the other antenna and you're receiving them extremely well or whatever, then you can assume that now your signal to them has improved probably as much as their signal to you. Roger?
Roger. Well, I do want to let you know that we have several thousand feet of that RG6, all copper, no aluminum shield, all copper, and center conductor, about an 18 gauge. So to let you know, we have several thousand feet on rows that I've acquired, so that if you do decide to make new antennas, and that's what I'm going to use mine. It's orange. If you don't mind the orange color, and I do have some black left. I think I got 2 rows of the black at 1,000-foot rows of the black left. But I'm going to use the orange, and I'm going to make my dipoles out of that as well. Over.
Roger. Now, keep in mind that the width of the element of your antenna determines the Q of it. The higher the Q, the higher the gain. I'm using like about 6 strand clothesline galvanized steel for my antennas. But I think my Q is extremely high because of my diameter width of the element is pretty small. Roger?
Oh yeah. If you go with the broader the antenna, the higher the Q, the broader you'll be able to you'll, instead of 100 kilocycles, you can go 200 kilocycles, and that kind of robs you of a little bit of efficiency. So, but we have had a lot of fun in the past. I'm not sure what you're using now, but in the past, I've sent you home with a whole lot of 75 ohm coax. Over.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to think. I think I have one antenna. My 80 meter resonant dipole is with that. The rest of them are, what I said before there, and that's pretty good. The tuning technique is that I'm not running any transformers, so all these antennas are unbalanced. And in tuning them, I'm using the ground side to tune the SWR and the high side to keep bringing it back onto frequency. So we keep going back and forth like that to pretty soon the SWR is like 0.05 at the resonant frequency of exactly where I'm looking for. Roger?
Oh yeah, I understand. Well, again, you've got your inductance, capacitance, reactance, and you got 3 different places you got to be at one time. And with that, you can play around with tuning it that way. I myself, an antenna being the antenna itself, it is what was I going to say? Yeah, the antenna itself is matched. So if you've got 2 matched loads of antennas, say you've got 2 wires 33 feet long, that is a balanced antenna. And then you got the unbalanced coax going to it. That's why you put the choke up there to keep the RF from coming back down. Over.
Roger, that's one thing, but also the terrain over which the element's run also has a great deal of influence on disturbing the balance between the one and the other. Like this 80-meter dipole that I once had, I had the top of the high side going up into about an 80-foot pine tree, which was really neat. The only problem was I could never, ever get the SWR down to, it was always like a 2 or 1.8 or something like that. And I would try everything I knew to get the SWR down, and nothing really worked. And, this would be a kind of a thing where we'd go along for a couple of months, and then I would pick a day and I'd say, I'm going to go out there and get this 80-meter dipole in shape, and I'm going to get that SWR down to nothing. And I go up on the roof and up on the roof and up on the roof and up on the roof, and I would try everything, and I still couldn't get that SWR down. And so one time I was at the end of my wits, and I was using little tie wraps to bend. You never want to cut an antenna wire. You want to bend them back on themselves. So I was bending it back on itself and using a tie wrap to hold it back, and all of a sudden one slipped, and I lost my top position in this pine tree, 60-foot pine tree. And I was devastated. I was saying, oh my, what am I going to do now? Well, the answer is go to the limb that you can get it to, and the only limb I could get it to at the time was this limb, first up off the ground. Was about 30 feet, and I went to that limb, and all of a sudden my SWR was gone. I was down to 0.05 just by going to this lower limb, which indicates that there was a different relationship to ground between the one element and the other. As far as the one half of the dipole was a sloper, and the other side was pretty much horizontal. So when I made both halves horizontal, that SWR went away. Roger, Roger.
Oh, yeah, that's another way of doing it. You can take an inverted V and roll it up and down on a pulley, and that's how you adjust your ohms, your 50 ohms and your SWR. You can, depending on the depth of the earth, ground conductivity, everything around it that bothers the antenna, you can sit there and run that weed eater string up and down on that pulley, or whatever you got to use, rope, whatever. I use weed eater string for everything, 091, by the way, for those who are listening and wondering how they do it. It lasts about 5 years and everything's all. I lost my big tree out back. It blew over. Man, it sounded like a bulldozer went through the house, but the big tree blew over, roots and all, just out of nowhere. I lost my big tree out back, so I'm sitting here in compromised antenna hell right now. I don't have I'm busted, disgusted, and can't be trusted when it comes to antennas, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. Well, if you can make it 30 foot, if you can get 30-foot height, that's all you need, man. You can, that's neat because you can pick up some ground reflection and help you go skyborne, and that's 30 feet's all you need. I talk to folks that are 70, 80, 90 feet, and I know they're serious about their stuff. When you get up to 80, 90 feet, they're pretty serious about getting out, on HF. 80 feet up in the air on HF is, I think, a kind of an overkill, but I would just be glad to get to 30 feet above ground on the, vertical dipole antenna, tuned dipole antenna, Roger.
Jimmy, I have 500 feet of brand new coax over here. I don't know who makes it. I know I don't like it. It's stiff coax, but it's got that foil inside there, and man, you got to be patient getting that stuff away and doing that, putting ends on it and everything. I got a brand new 500-foot row of coax over here that I absolutely want to throw in the garbage. So I'll hold on to it for a while because I know I'm planting a seed. See, I'm doing this purposely. I'm planting a seed for the Jim Fergusson Vlog to come alive and say, hey, Lou, I think I need some more coax.
Roger. Well, I have been tempted to construct another tuned dipole that runs if my other one runs a certain way, then I want this one to run opposite from parallel. So I can get two different expressions diabolically opposed 90 degrees to the other, and have a A-B switch and just play with that. Now, you know, like I say, there's nothing better than the right antenna at the right place. And one of those magnetic loop antennas I've been using just as I've got one at 0 degrees, one at 90 degrees, and the third one I've been using as on noise. And I'm just looking at local noise, and I rotate it around to just find the null on local noise, and I can get that signal down 20 dB. And I don't have a lot of noise, but with that antenna, that vertical loop antenna, I can bring that around and just see that noise level come down and then come up the other side. So, and then I go back and I find my absolute null point on noise. And, you know, I'm realizing that my null point is more sensitive than my forward gain point. So I may not be in absolute perfect relationship to the signal coming in at random, but I am in perfect tune to the ambient noise level locally. And you take a 20 dB out of your noise signal, and you got a pretty good signal there, Roger.
Oh my God, yes, without a doubt. But by the way, how are you for hardline? And did you know that we have a special stash of like 1.5" or 1 7/8"? It's real big, and it's really good for a loop. Did you know we had a big stash of that hidden somewhere?
No, I didn't. I thought I coveted most of that, of what you had last time. That's how I built my my 3 10-foot vertical magnetic loops, was from the stash of stuff that you had last time. Roger, Roger?
Well, we've got more. We've got more. And, yeah, it's going to be I have to put it in the back of the truck and bring it to you if I got the approval from the great one. You know, I don't want to. You know, Teresa's got cameras watching all points of entry there. So just in case the UPS man tries it with you know, we try to let the wives not know what's going on. That'll be another day. Woo! Whoa! The life and times of Jim Ferguson and Lou Hinkle, N9 GTO with KC9VKV for the license purposes only, to let the people know who we are. Jim, I'm going to take a standby, and you try another talk situation you got out there, and see if you can help somebody out with their audio. I'm going to sit here in this chair and listen. Give it a try.
Roger. Let me get back on air here. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, not nut. KC9VKV network, Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Give me a shout.
There you go.
I didn't copy that. I've got trash up on my PA SDR. Let me go back to my local antenna and see what I got. Is there a station calling?
Calling?
Lou, did you hear somebody?
Thought I heard something, but I didn't hear it.
There's a European calling you.
European station, gosh, why don't you give me about 15 seconds of something, and let me see if I can find you there, Sir Roger.
If I can find you there, Sir Roger.
Well, I don't hear him or see him there. I get a lot of trash right now out of Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what that is.
I get a lot of trash crash right now out of Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what that is.
Sound like somebody tuning up.
Who is the station that advises there's a European calling?
This is W6KW.
Hello, W6KW. My name is Lou, and I'm in Indiana. How are you?
Yeah, okay, Lou. I've been listening to you while I'm working on the shack. My name is Peter, and I'm in Georgia, and I've got a full-size 4-element 40-meter Yagi 300 feet over the water. It's pointed on Europe right now.
Okay, well, I've got a 10 over on you. You've given me a 10 over on the Anon 8000, so sounding good. Glad to hear you in there listening to us, over.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Lou. I'm running barefoot. It's a Yaesu FT101 Mike Papa at about 150 watts.
Beautiful. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Sounding beautiful.
Peter, what was that radio?
It's a FTDX 101 Mike Papa.
Yaesu.
Yeah, Roger. Gosh, you must be 20 over here. Must be at least 20 over. What kind of signal I'm giving you down there?
You were almost 15 over on the last transmission.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're just about at least that or more this way, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, appreciate that. You're not quite in my full beam pattern, but you're close enough that the people in Kentucky, Indiana are pretty loud.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, that's we're right on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. So we're, right at Louisville on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. That's why I said that. I knew where you were.
Yes, sir. Boy, you're and how? What's the height of your antenna system?
The antenna itself is at 90 feet over the ground, but it's sitting on a bluff over Lake Lanier, and the fall off about a wavelength away makes it about 333 feet over the water.
Oh yeah, now that's freshwater. Is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Yes, sir. Well, it's just a heck of a signal. Now, you heard what I said, that I didn't think that vertical height, anything over 30 feet, made much difference, and I still believe that way, but your signal is outstanding.
Well, I think the takeoff angle can get a little bit lower the higher you go.
Yes, sir. Now, what was that, the antenna that you are running?
It's a full-size 4-element monoband Yagi homebrew. It's OWA, which means optimum wideband antenna.
Roger. So what's the size of the elements?
Did you mean the size of the alumina elements?
The diameter. I'm trying to figure out what the Q of that system might be.
Oh, okay. Well, they start at 2.5 inches, and all the elements are 1/8-inch wall until you get down to the tips. So they don't telescope very much. The first 20 feet is 2.5 inches, 1/4-inch wall, and then it tapers down to 2 inches, and then the tips.
Roger. Now, what size rotor are you using on that beast?
And the boom, by the way, the 48-foot boom is 3-inch, 1/4-inch wall. 1/8-inch wall. The rotor is a DX Engineering 4400. It's they just came out with it here a few months ago. I used to use an Orion, but Lightning will take out the reed switch on the Orion, even if it's a 1/4 of a mile away. So I took the Orion out. At my ranch in California, I use prop pitches, but I don't do that anymore, Jim. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, there will come a time in your life when being able to work on that antenna, you will have to find somebody from a circus, Roger.
I already do. I'm 79 years old, and so I don't climb anymore.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last time I climbed, I dropped a shoe off my foot at the very top, and I had to come down that tower with only one shoe, and that was extremely painful.
Oh, my, I'll bet it was. Holy smokes. All right, well, I'll let you all carry on. I heard that European calling. He's weaker than a kitty cat, but I could hear him, and so I thought I'd let you know.
Yes, sir. I couldn't hear anything with my 4 internet SDRs and 5 internet SDRs and my local tuned dipole antenna. So that may be the tribute to a 90-foot high angle. So anyway, Peter, let me say 73 to you. So if you would like to hear that beautiful audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to our Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently running about 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This will be cut number 1, and I will have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Yeah, roger that, Jim. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oddly enough, although your recording, I'm sure, is a lot better, but oddly enough, a station in Serbia recorded me 2 nights ago and recorded the pileup that I had in Europe. So I did get a kick out of that. Anyway, thank you kindly, and y'all continue. And I didn't really mean to interrupt. This is W6 Kentucky Whiskey.
Roger. Peter, I was just looking at your noise level. I've got a VU meter tied to the output of my 7300, and I've got it adjusted for zero level in your peaks. And when you see speaking, I'm looking at noise, and that noise was down there around 15, 20. So, very, very low. So, and also, I have a spectrum analyzer tied to that 7300 audio out, so you can look at your audio curve too. And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Roger. All right, Jim. Thank you kindly. I'll take advantage of that.
Peter, can you got a quick question for you. What kind of signal am I giving you versus what Jim's giving you over?
You're S9, and somebody else asked me a question. You're S9, Lou. Who asked the question?
Peter, when you're done with your QSO, can you drop down to 183? I need to ask you about the 4500 rotator.
83. I'll be happy to give you the skinny on that. So I'm signing out anyway. I'll go down there. Did you have any other questions, Luke?
No, thank you very much. God bless.
All right, 73, good evening and have fun. I'm going down to 83 to answer the question. W6KW, bye-bye.
Roger, Peter, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And with that, gosh, Lou, we've worked the hour. It's 5 o'clock.
That's what you wanted to do. Half a gallon versus a full gallon. He gave us the numbers right on the bench.
Yes, sir. So hopefully, gosh, I'd love to have you next Friday if you can make it. We'd love to have you.
Oh, I'll be here. I won't let anything hold me back. No, once I get used to it. Like I said, I got the station all set up in here, and I got my antenna tuner all set up, my night Viking, got everything all set up, and I'm ready to rock and roll. And at nighttime, I got everything labeled, so if I want to put the indoor radio beside the bed in here, I could do that too. And I got about 100 kcs of bandwidth with the Night Viking tuner. I don't know what antenna I'm on right now. I'm on Hocus Pocus number 7 out of 8. So I'm getting a better signal on everybody, being the Hocus Pocus number 7. So I'm going to have to go out there and literally find out what Hocus Pocus number 7's on. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, I'll tell you what I did just recently. I took that spectrum analyzer, not the spectrum analyzer, but the spectrum analysis device, and brought it out, the high side out with a pin, like a needle, and stuck in the shield of a cable, not directly in, but at an angle. And then I went to the other end, and this is all because I've got these big cable bundles. You know, maybe they're 6 inches around, and there's many cables in there. And this was a cable that goes up to an antenna that doesn't have ID between that and where it went into the Radio Shack. But I did put the output of the analysis machine at about 7 megahertz or so, and just left it full. And then I took my Spectrum, what is that? The old CB field strength meter, SWR bridge. Took a needle and tied a little alligator clip deal to that into the input of the field strength meter, and went probing along about 200 feet away, and just bigger than heck I hit one that went about 5, and none of the others got hot. So that was it, and it was just to catch me up about how to track down antenna lead amongst others that weren't ID'd. Roger.
Roger. Well, see, I got a control box of 1 through 8 that I sit here and turn. You know, I got an Ameritron 1 through, it's good for 2 kilowatts, 1 through 8, and I'm able to switch that back and forth to various antennas. And I got a book that I write down what 1 through 8 means. Right now, I've only got 4 antennas hooked up to it, and 2 of them don't give a damn, and the other 2 are okay. So I'm on okay number 2.
Right. Well, you just put that output of that switch well, you don't even have to put it into your radio. Just take the output from the switch and run your analysis bridge output into the shield of that through clips or whatever, and a little needle that you go sideways into the shield, and then go down the road and just hunt around, and pretty soon you'll see number 2 position of the switch is over on this antenna, and so you just label that antenna, and you can label them out that way.
Yeah, I've got 8 TL259s, or no, SO239s out there now. I got the females, and then I've got 4 antennas or 5 antennas out there, 4 antennas, and 2 don't give a damn. One's a maybe, and one's okay. So I'm just trying, I got to figure out what's wrong, and I'm going to redo some stuff here, cut some of the weeds back, and I've been busy over the summer, and the things have gotten so. Now we got cool air coming in. It's a breeze. Fall is coming upon us, and it's called the Lou Time Amateur Radio Antenna Building Hour. Is what I'm going to name it.
That's right. And now Gorilla Tape makes some white Gorilla Tape, incidentally, so you can use your magic marker, get that white Gorilla Tape, write what it is, and then get you some clear, tape, and tape over that so the weather doesn't make it smear, and it's good for, 5 or 6 years, Roger.
I beat you to the punch there. I got 2 rows at 4 inches wide, 2 rows of it over.
Yes, sir. And once you get it labeled, man, you just, there's no possibility of things going wrong in the night, Roger.
Roger. Jim, give it one more shout and see if there's somebody that we can help about.
No, I'm quitting now, man. I'm quitting while I'm ahead, Roger.
Roger. You're quitting while you're ahead. So you've done shut that edit. You're not on tape now, huh?
Oh, I'm on tape, but I'm just, I'm 10 after 5, and we go from 3:30 to 5, Roger.
Roger. Well, I've enjoyed today. I don't know what time. What time you got to get on that radio to talk to the wife?
Well, she's on vacation at the moment, so she's probably waiting for me to shut down so she can move along, Roger.
Are you telling me I got to let you go?
Yeah. I usually get out of here. Try to get out of here pretty close to 5 after, somewhere in there,
Well, tell Teresa I said hello and all that, and you guys have a great afternoon. I am going to just put this thing on park, because I never shut it off until it's cooled down. I don't know how hot it is, but it's putting out a little bit of wattage, and that's all that matters. The guy said, well, I was giving him a 9, you were giving him a 15 over, whatever it is. There you go. It's a big difference between 5 gallons versus a 10-gallon hat there. You know, well, I'm sorry, half a gallon versus a full gallon. N9GTO with KC9VKV. I'm clearing off the Air 73s. Hello and goodbye to Charlie.
Yes, sir, Lou. Just before you go, if you would, take a look at my skirts up and down, upside and the other side. Make sure I'm not exceeding the speed limit one way or the other. I should be just perfect, and hopefully my audio is good too, Roger. This is a test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Say anything different, over?
I'm sorry?
3 KCs wide.
All right, and not a Terry over?
Nothing. You got a brick wall there.
Roger. And what kind of signal am I giving you?
You're giving me a 25 over.
All right, close enough. 73, sir, and we'll see you next Friday. Roger.
Let all that stuff cool down before you turn it off. N9GTO clear.
Roger. 73. Catch you later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. Since 3:30 we've been operating, and hopefully you've participated. If you have and want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,700 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So we'll say 73. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, signing clear and returning the frequency back to normal amateur radio use. Bye-bye.